Can I ask you about the timing of all this for Micheál Martin and the Taoiseach's trip to the White House, which is a little over a week away now? It really crept up very quickly.
Wow. Yeah.
So we're expecting him to go to the White House. What is it? Either potentially 16, 17 in the round January, whatever day it's going to be. A lot of the criticism from the opposition, and I think Duncan Smith, who is the Foreign Affairs spokesperson for Labour, was describing the government, particularly Helen McEntee's response to what happened, the US and Israel's decision to attack Iran, as spineless. Their comments around it were spineless, that they weren't coming out and saying, this is a breach of international law, we condemn it, etc.
There was a lot of criticism this week of the government in relation to Spain, right? For instance, said we need to be more like Spain. Now, say Sinead Gibney, the Social Democrats, were kind of taking that line because Spain obviously didn't let them use the base to go through to Iran, at the US, I should say, to go through. Micheál Martin said much the same as Helen McEntee. But what I thought was interesting was, so yes, you're right, the government have been, as much perhaps as the energy issue, they've been hammered, I should say, for not calling this for what others claim it to be, right? But he did say some interesting comments on the way into Cabinet this week where he was saying, the UN is fundamentally broken. Kind of went a bit further than he's been gone before and saying the international rules-based order is, not where it needs to be. So he's kind of trying to play both sides there and saying, look, if in a different world I could maybe condemn this, not in the world we live in right now, and not 10 days or 15 days before I'm going to be sitting in the Oval Office with President Trump. What's going to be interesting is Micheál Martin is going to come in there with his shtick, or whatever you want to call it, and he'll do what he's been briefed to do, much as he did quite successfully last year. It's the media who are going to be in that room that are going to make this so uncomfortable for him. It was different last year when we were there because you were in the Oval Office last year. Yeah. Trump seemed more bemused by the fact that Ireland even seemed to have a Prime Minister and, that Irishmen had won more medals of honour, I think was one statistic that was given to him the trip. And he kept rolling saying, that can't be true, that's true, kind of making a joke of it. So he seemed more bemused by the fact that Micheál Martin was sitting beside him sometimes, even though he was quite gracious and all the rest of it. But it was because Trump, it was in the middle of the trade negotiations, bear in mind, with the EU. So it's kind of like, well, what's he going to do next? We don't really know. We'll take a pop shot about, Ireland's pharmaceuticals. It seems so much less significant that now than what we're looking at now. So it could be a really, really uncomfortable 40 minutes or 45 minutes for Micheál Martin.